All right, so the next step is we're gonna take this fan apart, okay? It's actually pretty easy. I am not an electrician. I don't know anything about electrical stuff, but even I can take this apart because it's really only like 3 wires. So the first thing is you just are gonna come in and unscrew this part. Now, your fan may not have this. This is a light kit, okay? And I just pulled it apart because I'm gonna use a different light kit anyways. And in here, there are 2 Phillips screwdrivers, okay? I'm not screwdrivers, but screws. And I apologize if I sniff today. I have very bad allergies because it's that time of year. So I will do my best not to sniff, but. All right. So see, this all comes out, okay? And what's really cool is like, they're typically held together with these like little twisties. Now, if it's a really old fan, it may not have this. If it's a really old fan, it won't actually be this complicated. Let's see, it just comes right apart. And any electrician, because I do recommend having an electrician put this back, up and install it, they'll know how to connect all these wires. So this is the light kit. I'm gonna take it off. I'm just gonna toss it, put it away because I'm not gonna actually keep that light kit, okay? And what we have here is, on the older Hunter fans, these are actually metal. Unfortunately, on the 1970s, 1980s, they were plastic. So you do have to be really careful. So if you break this plastic, it can be very hard to replace. So that's the one thing you have to be really careful with that plastic. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this. Okay, so this little thing right here, this is the switch housing. Okay, and it basically is your light switch. Okay, and what we can do here, you just can pull it out like that. Okay, and it's off. And this actually, compared to other fans, I believe this was a replacement switch because it's actually made in Taiwan, and in this era they were typically made in the US. So this is probably a replacement switch, and it was different than the other switches I've seen. But essentially it's the same principle. The wires go in, and you do that, you figure it out, okay? And then I am actually going to pause the video really quick, and I'm going to show you the other type of switch so you can see it. I'm back. I went and grabbed an original switch. The thing here is I have 3 different fans, so I was able to pull this part from another fan. If you only have one fan and you end up with like a plastic replacement switch like this, and it's broken, and this one is because you can't even tell which wires are going where, you can call the fan store and just call a ceiling fan store, and I'll put a link to a really good one, and you can get a replacement switch, okay? Notice the difference between the replacement switch made overseas, this is all plastic, and then this is the original switch. This was American made, still has a strong pull power to it, and the best part is for an amateur like me is there is the black, the blue, and the red, and I could easily hook these back up so I know exactly what wires this switch needs to go to, okay? Impossible to tell with this switch. So I'm going to go ahead and use the original switch and get rid of this replacement switch. Okay, so the next step, now that we've dealt with the switch, is you have all these wires here, okay? And essentially, you just want to straighten them out as best you can, okay? And now we got to get this housing off. Again, unfortunately, in the 70s and 80s, they started using a plastic housing, so these are really delicate. If you break it, you probably toast. You can call that ceiling fan store I'll link to. They may have a replacement, but essentially it unscrews. And it's actually counter to what you're normal. So generally you unscrew it like this, but with these fans, it's opposite. They probably did that for some reason or another. Essentially, we're just gonna unscrew it. Be very gentle. It comes off pretty easily. Whoop. Now, heads up, there's always going to be a lot of oil when you first pull these off. And this is why we're actually cleaning it. So here's the housing, okay? If you look closely, actually, maybe we can come over here to the light. All right, we're gonna stop the video really quick and I'm gonna show you inside the plastic housing. Okay, look how nasty and greasy it is. And this is what we're gonna clean out, okay? And this is the part you don't wanna break because it's got this plastic screw and that's how it attaches back inside. But essentially we wanna get rid of all that nasty oil, okay? And then we're gonna repaint this black. And then so we're gonna clean it all up, okay? So, and then back over to the fan, we're gonna pause it again.